Hi. Oh, good dog. We are back again. We actually realized I knew something was off with the camera in the last episode. So it was flipped. I know you could still hear us talking, but
shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. But we wanted to do this again and talk
for
a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
And,
so this is
for our record and just so we have it. But so we are back. This is SONday Chronicles.
Shows
Deja vu, man. Whoa.
7. We're the glitch in the matrix.
This is what are you looking for? Oh, okay. This is episode 30, and we're calling this "All I Need for Christmas." So let's jump right into it, since we know what to say.
Yeah, that was a warm up.
Yeah, we had a good warm up for anyone who caught the first one.
So I would like to begin with those who like to say putting Christ back in Christmas, and we're going to tie everything in there's like 4 or 5 topics. So Christ back in Christmas, you hear people that say that, and it's said bitterly, it's said with anger, with so many different things, and
it's opposite of what Christ means.
My suggestion to people who frequently utter those words is to begin with you and quit trying to change everybody else.
Because you can't.
Because it
just doesn't work.
It's never going to occur.
It all starts again with you.
And it all goes back to everything that we've said, especially the past 7 days. And these are the same folks that were upset when Starbucks went to the red cup. How come? It's just.
Yeah, I remember there's something about that. I don't remember why.
It was a very odd thing, but it was real, and going within. And this is just a response to that, because it's something that I've always I felt it.
Well, it's that anger.
Illogical. Yeah, it was said, it was so illogical that it made no sense.
Anger about bringing Christ to something.
Yeah.
It doesn't, or anger and that doesn't go together.
Put Christ back in. That's like make America great again.
Yeah.
Those are things, what do you mean? What are these cute little slogans that you're saying? But, the Christ consciousness can only be found by going within. And, Christ was an example, and he was like I said in the last one, go back and study Christ.
In the Gnostic text.
The Gnostic.
The direct quotes from him.
Yeah. And listen to what he's saying. And it's nothing, it's a complete opposite thing. And I just wanted to kind of start with that.
Well, I think going a little bit more about Christ, the Christ consciousness, I think would be good to talk about right now.
Like what?
Just more about what that actually means. Like when you say the phrase Christ consciousness,
being the example. Yeah. And compassion, unconditional love, oneness. It wasn't only Christ. It was Buddha. It was Muhammad. It was all Krishna. It was all of these examples throughout. It's many different mediums, one message, all the same message of peace and love, man. And
love thy neighbor is every single religious beginning.
Mm-hmm. There's a oneness. It's going. The more you go within, the more one you become.
And that's that Christ consciousness. Yeah. It's being one with the all.
Christmas. What is actually? What do they say Christmas is? Is it when
it's Jesus' birthday?
They said that he was born on Christmas.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I think Jesus was born just based on the stars and everything in sometime of June and July. From the studies that I've done, that people actually.
It's a really interesting, like Saturnalia and all those things, the Greek Roman, I think it is,
I mean,
holiday. That's where it started, and then
it turned
they
into
killed
Christmas.
people, and then it turned to Christmas because of this, that, a Hallmark holiday, whatever. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's fun.
a lot. That could go
Christmas,
on and on.
but Christmas can be fun, and I think what we were discussing in the warm-up show was I have everything that I need. That whole all I want for Christmas, and this idea for the show was all I need for Christmas.
Yeah, all this want and desire and materialism and consumerism.
Yeah, that's
what
what's
you
actually
see.
taken the Christ out of Christmas.
And so it's individual. So
Yeah.
once again, it's an individual change that you have to make.
That's really smart. Those that are shouting put the Christ back in Christmas are actually the ones that are supporting the consumerism side of Christmas.
And even if you're
that is the reason that Christ has been removed from Christmas. Do you see the little circle?
Yeah, and I think it's for anyone, and not just those shouting that. I think the holiday in general.
Yeah, but no, it's turned into, like I say, Hallmark holiday. Everyone loves Santa Claus. I was at the grocery store the other day, and they had this really cool Santa in there, and he had it was real beard, real everything, and this little kid walked up, and the first thing he asked him is, "Are you happy?"
Yes.
And I'm like, hell.
Was it the one at Trader Joe's?
Yeah. Are you happy?
That's an awesome Santa.
Got tears. I was standing in line. I was like, wow. He just asked that child, "Are you happy?" And the kid lit up. And that was like, okay, there is.
You didn't tell me that.
I haven't told you that yet.
That's still there, and I think that is what's great about this holiday is that goodness does come out more.
People lighten up.
But there's two sides of that, as there always is.
Yeah.
Yin and yang. It's the stress and obligation from the holiday for some, that depression, all of these things come along with it, which you even said today you felt overwhelming sadness, and we saw it on Facebook and everything.
Like I've always said, I said it with the we were talking about vegans and vegetarians, and it's cool. I like the vibe that's coming with, but most people in the United States of America aren't concerned about how healthy they're going to be eating. They're concerned about whether they're going to be eating. And some people, for this specific holiday, who work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, are having trouble eating. And
said they'll go buy those, as you said before, those, for example, like Air Jordans or some whatever.
Yeah,
some
they'll go
big gift
out of their way to get something for their child that is going to put them in debt, and then they have to work all year to pay that debt off.
And this is based, again, on observation that we've personally seen with friends and family and that type of thing. So.
And so it's like, whoa, the obligation that comes along with a holiday like this.
Because for us, like, we have nothing to do, nowhere to go, and it's just magical.
Yeah, I'm
personally,
so grateful.
It's just inner peace. Yeah. Are you happy? That Santa who asked that child, which is so awesome. Are you happy? That is the question. Are you happy?
Are you happy?
And I would add to that, are you at peace? Are you, are you, how, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you are at peace, I'm pretty sure happiness is there.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I'm like, okay, this is great. This is what it's about.
And
unfortunately, though, it's been turned into what it is.
Yeah, and being grateful for what you have. We talk about this all the time, that the universe actually responds to you, to your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality. So being grateful for whatever you have at this current moment, I think, is...
instead of going around saying, I don't have enough, I want more,
money.
I don't have more money, or I don't have enough money, I don't have enough of this, that, and the other.
Well, wanting
the universe
more,
will say, okay, yeah.
Wanting more, to me, wanting is complaining. If you truly break it down, I want this, I want that. To me, it's a complaint, or it's complaining. And if you're complaining, you're not grateful. And
once you really repeat even that mantra, I'll always have abundance, or I am abundant. I think that really your whole world changes, because that's a positive thought. You're grateful for what you have. You are aware that you, and because that, you'll always have everything you need.
Yeah, in the universe.
Because what do you truly need? It's not the material outward stuff.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think that but I think it's okay. And I said this before. I said this all the time. I'm not hating on people with money. You know, if you have money, then hell yeah, because we are going to have a bunch of money, and we're going to do some really cool things with it across the world. And I think that's completely fine. We're just saying that there's actually, you know, it's the all I want for Christmas is what it's become. And that whole circle of put the Christ back in Christmas. Well, consumerism has taken the place of Christ in Christmas. That's the reason. One energy, Christ energy, moved out, consumerism moved in. If you want the Christ back in Christmas, or you want the example back in Christmas, move the consumerism out and put the Christ back in. Do it yourself. Be the example. Be the example of that Christ consciousness, and then, you know, once that occurs,
it's not just Christmas; it's every day of the year.
Yeah, and once that occurs, then it'll just be a way of life.
Or striving to awaken your Christ consciousness.
But right now, the topic of the day is greed and money and tax cuts for the rich, and, you know, fuck the middle class, fuck the poor people. That's what's popular right now.
Selfish.
Yeah, that selfish.
It always comes down to bitter and sweet and selfless or selfish and selfless.
Yeah, every single time, and that is what's hot. And fortunately, it's not going to be. They will in their
put
own
on stage to awaken.
Yeah, everybody's getting to see it, and even the rich folks out there are like, that's kind of shitty. You know, I've seen a bunch of millionaires speak out. I've seen a couple billionaires speak out about, listen, we don't need that. And yet there's a specific group of people who created that #GOP did you know that there were 6,000 lobbyists involved in pushing that tax cut?
That's surprising.
6,000 lobbyists paid all those senators to say yes to push it. So the people that hired those lobbyists to go to Washington would get those tax cuts and make billions of dollars.
Well, all it is there's not elections, it's auctions.
Yeah, and I was watching Young Turks the other day, and the guy goes, Rosie O'Donnell was willing to give 2 senators $2 million, and
to say no
on the vote. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, she's definitely a liberal, and then she's obviously going against that conservative group. Well, fuck, both of them are throwing they're throwing their money around to get a vote. So fuck the system in general, because voting, unless you've got $2 million to give to a senator, doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I love what you said though. It's not elections, it's auctions.
Yeah,
and that's truly what it is.
Our system has become an auction, and she who have the most money win.
That started back in Egypt too.
Yeah, and
they went to shit when religion and politics
all the rest of us, you know, trying to start small businesses, trying to do these things. It's like, fuck you, man. It's our time to loot, and they're looting, but it's a cool thing.
But it's
the positive
usually,
thing. Yeah, the positive part is that everybody's getting to see it.
And also, it's the biggest shit show before the end, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to keep seeing more of that chaos and craziness.
Chaos.
Well, that kind of took a different... We didn't talk about that before.
No, I'm glad we did it again.
You talked about consumerism. We talked about Christ consciousness, and all of that, and being grateful for what you have.
Yeah, having...
That reciprocal thank you. Talk about that. With the universe. I'm not sure if you did, but...
Yeah, you know,
I just love
we always talk about purpose, and you're either willy-nilly or you're on that track and on that purpose. What was I supposed to talk about? Reciprocal thank you.
Yeah, so when you have everything you need.
I always, as you enter and become aware of your purpose and what you're gonna, you're like, okay, here we go. You will be given specific things, and I like to call them tests, or, you know, situations,
people,
that you must take the high road, that low road, and the high road sometimes, a lot of the time, is a real tough road, but the more and more you take that selfless route, that's the things start going. And as you complete those tasks, you give in, and it's kind of a reciprocal thank you. And I think it's like thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And
what you give out, you receive, and that is also universally. So even whatever you're given is a gift. It's a thank you, even if it's a kind of a bad situation, let's say, because you're going to learn from it, and that's then you're grateful for it, and then the universe says, "Good job, you learned from it, and you were positive," and it just keeps going.
My number one gift is health, for our family, and just. That is number one at all times. If you don't have anything to be grateful for, look at yourself, and you always find a positive and hold on to that positive, and it'll start adding on to other positives, and that negative energy, believe in that positive, will come in.
And I think really the biggest thing I wanted to get across with this talk today is, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling obligated, if you're feeling these kind of shitty bad feelings around the holiday, take a look and stop and realize, is any of it because of want and desire? I think just being grateful for what you have and realizing, wait, I actually have everything I need. I either have my health, I have a roof over my head, I have this glass of water. I mean, it sounds like very simple things, but then you start seeing the whole world in that way, just pure gratitude. And
I think it's beautiful.
It's just a beautiful thing.
It brings people close together. Like
the holidays. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful time. I love it. It's magical.
I think that if you can't afford something, then have that conversation with the kids. Have that conversation about, we have everything we need. And it'll make things easier. And I know it's tough with kids, especially in schools and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's always a bright side. And
but it's a great time, when people are together, but it's also a lot of self-reflection. You're going to hear a lot about that with resolutions and all these other things, but it's the end of the year, it's winter solstice, the retrograde just ended. There's so many things universally happening, and cosmically too, that just self-reflection, as it is important every day. I think right now it feels like really important to look within. And connect with that Christ consciousness and realize who you are, and what you're seeking is you.
And if you are saying, put the Christ back in Christmas, I wanted to say this again. You do it.
Because it starts with you.
It starts and it ends with you.
One person, it's always self-work.
Be the example, and watch how many people fall off. And
be the light to others, because you're aware of your own darkness and your own light, and lead by example, like you said. That was the big one.
Other than that, Cassie, this is episode 30.
Yeah.
We've got like 30 hours of material that we're going to be going over and doing some cool things with. And then we did 7 shows in a row.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
We might do.
I'm enjoying all these talks. We have plenty to talk about, and
we've
lots of fun things we want to share and discuss together and with you all.
But Merry Christmas, happy whatever your holiday is. Enjoy it, and thank the millions and millions of people out there who've been watching our videos
and sending us fan mail. It's really
we really appreciate that.
But enjoy your evening. I hope it is filled with inner peace and love
and joy,
coziness, and all that good stuff. Is that a gunshot?
Yeah, as a gunshot goes off.
Hey.
That was either a gunshot or a firecracker, but it most likely was a gunshot. Anyways,
in a peace.
In a peace.
Bye.
Bye.